what I want to make, though. The point I want to make is that I've been talking about, look, we have to prepare and understand that we're going to get nickel and dime to death. At the end of the year, by 2016, when we add up our taxes, including Obamacare, when we add up our taxes, it's going to be an enormous amount of money. When we look at what we are paying in taxes, and it's already happened this year, I never thought I would live to see a day that I would pay. I always pay tax a little bit. I don't withhold a lot. I get a lot of 1099 income, but oh my word, this year it was crazy. So it's only going to get worse. But we're going to get nickel and dime to death, and this is what Congress, in a bipartisan effort, is going to continue to do, so that you and I don't think our taxes are being raised. See, they say, well, we're not going to raise taxes. They're going to charge fees and federal sales tax or federal tax, which is basically what this is, federal sales tax, on these kinds of things, internet tax, those kinds of things, that will gradually nickel and dime us to death. Now, here's something. Now, you know what? I'm going to save this. I'm going to save that, too, for the next hour. Maybe not. I'll save this one for the next hour. Our congressional leaders in both parties, listen to this, have engaged in high-level confidential talks about exempting lawmakers and Capitol Hill aides from insurance exchanges they are mandated now to join as a part of Obamacare. Isn't that nice? This is a confidential talk, bipartisan, confidential talk. Confidential talk means let's try to keep this from the American people. That's what confidential talk means. Confidential talk means we're in big trouble because you and I, Mr. Congressman, Mr. Senator, you and I have to go and do our town hall meetings this summer, and we don't want this to come up because it's going to get ugly. So we'll have a confidential talk. But listen, we know Obamacare is a disaster. We know that the quality of our health care is going to be pathetic through these state exchanges. And we know the quality of our health care through Obamacare in general is going to be horrible. So let's make sure we pass a law. Now, it's going to be okay for the American people. It'll be fine for them. We don't really worry about them. We don't really care about the seniors and the special needs kids and all. That doesn't matter. We're not worried about that. But how about us? And how about our aides that work for us? Surely we've got to get exempted from this. We don't want to have to be subject to socialized medicine in America. So let's exempt ourselves. That's what confidential talk means. And here's the deal. When it passes, and it will, if we, you and I, reelect any one of the weasel Republicans that voted for it, or any one of the weasel Democrats that voted for it, if we reelect them, I think that's going to put us into a category where we're more pathetic than they are. I hate to criticize all of us, but that's what it's going to mean. So I'm just giving you a heads up. My guess is, just throwing this out there, that 60 to 70% of them that voted for this bill will get reelected. That's just a guess. So you better start writing your local representatives and say, we know about the confidential talks, and that you can only assume if it's not good enough for them, surely you will repeal the law, because if it's not good enough for them and their families, surely it's not good enough for the rest of America. So forget about, in your letter, you're going to say, forget about exempting you, just repeal the bill if it's that bad. These are the kind of weasels that we've been living with for the last 10 years. And we continue to reelect them. Makes it even worse. They're going to have high-level confidential meetings to exempt themselves from a pathetic piece of legislation that they voted to approve, because it was only going to impact the American people, by the way, the ones that pay their salaries and hired them to represent us. I don't know if I'm going to recover from that. I guess I better go to the phones.